Hey everyone, this is Tom with Nexus Parking Systems. Doing a quick video today to show you how to separate your customers in WinOperate by group number. So if you're using Designa for your revenue control system, WinOperate is most likely, and I believe the only system you're using currently, to run that facility. Now, for accounting purposes, we use Paris to enter our customers in and to take care of all the invoicing. So Paris automatically enters our customers in under a default group in WinOperate, which can cause you some problems for reporting purposes, and also if you'd like to change the times that your customer is able to enter and exit the garage. Changing the group time in WinOperate is an awesome tool, and I'm going to show you how to get that done. And for today, the customer that we're going to work on is the gym that's attached to the parking garage here. So what's great about Paris is it separated the customer already by putting company as gym. Unfortunately, I can't do a report in WinOperate by searching through the company, so we have to change the group. Now when you click on a card here, you can see they have 24/7 access through Paris, and that's the default group that Paris is set up with. So we're going to change that today. So we'll exit the customer data. We're going to go to items and groups, and we're going to set group details and group times. So here you can see that I don't have anything set up for a gym yet. What I have is never, always, row and faculty, so on and so forth. Never is in here for EMI blocking purposes. Any card that's used in your garage that is not a card that's supposed to be here, whether it's not active or it has the wrong group, whatever the case may be, it automatically goes to EMI blocking as the item, which has never associated with it, doesn't allow them to enter and exit. Don't delete that. Always is your generic, all day long, you can enter whenever you need to and exit whenever you need to. So that's obviously something you'll probably need in there regardless of what garage you're running. Now I need to make a new group for the Rowan University Gym, and to do that I'm going to hit new, and I'm going to open here, Rowan Gym for my title, and we're going to make weekdays one of the time frames. Now on the weekdays the gym's open from 7 to 11. We allow them 1 hour before and after to come in and out of the garage. So I'm going to make this 6 a.m. for the start of the time frame, and we're going to change this to military time, of course, 23:59 for 11:59 at night, and save. Now, if you don't care if that customer comes in well before 6 a.m., you can click entrance before group time. It'll allow them to leave whenever, or I'm sorry, not leave whenever, enter whenever. They can leave within that group time. I'm going to keep them within the group time there for now for this group, and I'm also going to make a Rowan Gym weekend time frame. Okay, now for the weekend the hours change, and they are open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. So obviously now I'm changing this to 8 a.m. and we're going to make this 11 p.m. Save. Okay, so now I have two time frames up here, and I'm going to add them over to the group details here. Now I don't have Rowan Gym as a group yet, I don't believe. No. So I'm going to make a new group. Group 3, that's just what it automatically designates this to be. We're going to change it to Rowan Gym, keep everything uniform. And obviously, entrance is allowed, exits allowed. I'm not going to go over what each one of these means. Just know to set up a default group just for someone to come in and out of the garage. Those are the two you're going to need to be clicked. We are going to need to click active as well, but we can't do that until we add some times in here and save our work. So obviously on the weekdays, all I have to do is slide the time from up here into the group times. Nothing's assigned yet, so I'm going to slide Rowan weekend to Sunday. I'm also going to slide that to Saturday. You can click the drop down here so you can make sure that yes, you have the right times in, which is perfect. I'm also going to go to weekdays. We want them to be Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. So again, you could drop these just to make sure you did the work correctly and you have the times in right. It's probably a good idea because you're going to change these customers in the middle of the day here, so we want to make sure that they're not getting a surprise because we messed up. So make sure everything's right here. After you do so, you want to save your work, Once this is saved, this is now a group that's possible to activate, so we are going to activate it. And we do want to download that to our devices. Once you do that, you can leave group times, and you're not quite out of WinOperate yet. So what you need to do is go into items, because now that group needs to be assigned to a specific item. So under manage items, I don't have row and gym in here yet, so I'm going to make a new one. New. Make sure you have season Parker clicked up here. I apologize for not mentioning that, but this is going to be for a monthly or a season Parker, whichever you're going to call it. And we're going to change the title of this to Rowan Gym. Again, everything's pretty uniform here. I don't need to add a price. We don't use WinOperate for accounting purposes. Like I said before, Paris is where we do our accounting, so nothing has to be added in price here. So I am going to hit that it's paid and it's valid immediately. You don't need to add anything else here for a monthly Parker. Again, I won't go over how to click everything that's possible in WinOperate during this video, but I do want to change the season Parker group to the one that I just made. So we're going to go to Rowan Gym, group 3. This is going to be available for the longest WinOperate lets me make something available, which is 5 years. You obviously have options here. You can see you can do days, months, end of month. This is a great tool because you can really kind of organize when your parkers are able to come in and out of the garage. For us, this is a university parking scenario, so I can make an end of the month, end of the year, certain number of months, so that way it automatically terminates at the end of a semester. Really neat stuff that it has available to us here. So 5 years, this is something that's going to be here for a long time, and we're not going to worry about them having their card shut off at a certain time frame. So now that this is all done, we are going to come back to this screen, and I'll show you why. We're going to need to click this later, but we'll go over that when we get to it. So I'm going to save for now. I'm going to close. And right here, yes, I want to carry this out to all the devices. Awesome. So now what I'm going to do is go to my Paris screen. And you can see I have Rowan Gym's kind of already selected. Now what I did is I already made a default change, but I want to show you what you can do to do this. Now when I say items in WinOperate, translate to Paris, what it means is access levels. So if you go to items and groups, or I'm sorry, entry inquiry, I'm in the wrong screen obviously. We're going to go to entry inquiry, we're going to hit access levels, and when we do that, it's going to bring up the possible access levels that we have available in the garage. So obviously I've already added Rowan Gym, but adding something in here is pretty simple to do. All you're going to do is hit new and just give it a name. You don't have to assign anything to it, just new, whatever name. Make sure that this name matches whatever the name is in WinOperate. Obviously Rowan Gym is in there, so we're good. After you do that, if you go to location and all the way down to multiple Parker change, we can put the account number in. 0 for Rowan Gym. Verify that comes up here. And I'm going to change the access level. I don't care what the original was. I want it to be Rowan Gym. Now, I told you we already made this change. This might not do anything. Oh, nope, there you go. 13 Parkers in that category are going to change. Awesome. Done. Now, the reason we have to change this here is because if you do any work in Paris after you've made the changes in WinOperate, it's going to automatically change that customer, and you obviously don't want that to happen. So anything that you would do in here with a Parker, if you have to change a Parker, anything like that, it's going to change that by any billing when you go to bill out. It's going to change it back. So I changed the access level to Rowan Gym, so that way we don't have to worry about that moving forward. Save. Awesome. Now we can go back into WinOperate. Master data, manage customers. Now, as you can see, we're all still in here as 24/7 Paris. So we're going to change these customers in their screen. So once you click the customer, you'll see cards is as an option because they have a card assigned to their account, and we're going to manage the card. What's important is this change item button right here. We want to click change item so that item opens up as an option to change. If you don't click that, it doesn't happen. We just made Rowan Gym, and it automatically changes the group to Rowan Gym A, which is perfect, group number 3. Now, another button you might want to click if it's not already done so is IO check off next usage. That'll make sure that your customer, if they're in the garage, doesn't get held up because you changed something in their card in the middle of the day. You're going to save this, close, and now they're in there. Perfect, Rowan Gym. All right, what we can do to make all of those customers change at the same time, once I change all of these out, is you can go back into your item, manage items. We can click Rowan Gym, and now I can make all of the cards in row and gym neutral. This is only going to work for a one-shot deal, so it's going to not check the card, see if it's in or out for one time. The next time they use the card, it'll just let them in or out of the garage so long as that card's active, and then they'll be in their cycle and they have to use it correctly. So if I hit save here, again, close, it's going to ask me if I want to download that information. I do, and it'll automatically update all your customers in the category. At that point, you're pretty much done. The work you need to do to change the customer to the categories. Now I've shown you the benefit as far as time goes. You can control time frames the customers allowed in, but the other big deal is under web reports. We want to go to my login. It knows who I am. It does not know this, so put my password in. Okay, now if I do a Season Parker report, I'm going to click the garage that we're at, the car park. The group number was 3, if you remember right. And then I'm going to do a report for February on how often that card is in the garage. So if I hit web report now, obviously I only changed one card, but what it's going to do is even though I changed it today, it's still going to give me a report dating back to the beginning of February, and perfect. So these are all the times that the card has been used to enter or exit the garage, as well as the duration of time that it's spent in the facility. This is really good information for me. I really love to look at numbers to see what I can do as far as selling parking spaces in the garage. So if you guys have any questions about this, feel free to shoot me an email. I'm happy to help you out. Otherwise, have a great day. Good luck.